Hello everybody, Dante Starshine here. Welcome to another astrology update. For those of you watching this replay on YouTube, I will be getting back into doing public channeling live stream sessions soon. Things are kind of aligning for me and I'm getting my feet on the ground again. So you can look forward to that. So gonna wait a couple minutes for people to jump in, or maybe I should just dive right into it. Let's just dive right into it. I'm sure people will catch on. Um, so first of all, this new moon coincides with the Lion's Gate, which is the rising of the sun with Sirius, a powerful fixed star, and also the seat of a lot of extraterrestrial life that has influenced our planet. So this is something that happens every year and begins around July 27th and carries up to this point. And it allows us to connect with that more cosmic frequency. There's a lot of light and energy that comes in now to charge us up for the new cycle. As well, it's this numerological sequence, the 888, and that connects with the energy of empowerment and really seating ourselves with our personal power and our strength to move through the next cycle. So this is something that happens every year, and also if this just seems woo-woo, well, if enough people believe something to be reality, that energy field of expectation creates an effect. So even that is potent enough. And luckily we have the new moon coinciding with the Lion's Gate this time around, and that just adds to the potency of that charge as well. So the new moon is manifesting for us in 16 degrees of Leo. It's happening at this very potent point that allows it to aspect two powerful outer planets. And the placement of these outer planets in square to the sun in Leo is something that kind of dims the energy of Leo season in a way, because Leo is this very bold, courageous energy. And we have these two planets, Saturn and Uranus, that are a little bit like the authority figures, are the forces that are kind of trying to push that very heart exuberant, loving, personal energy of Leo. And we might feel that as restriction because Saturn, again, is about restriction. So the new moon is opposite Saturn in Aquarius, and Saturn is retrograde, so we might not feel it as potently. Leo is an energy that wants to stand up and be bold and express itself, and Leo does not like authority. Leo does not like control, and these are things that both Saturn and Aquarius relate to. So there can be this heightened sense of uprising against things that are limiting us or people that are limiting us. And for me, I experience this influence as really being able to stand up and speak my truth to somebody of authority to me that was doing something that I found to be out of alignment with my personal values and my personal truth. And doing so caused a really big shift in my own relationship to power and my own relationship to myself. And it allowed me to learn what it means to have my own back, regardless of how that makes other people feel. So Leo is this very individualistic energy in a way, as most fire signs are. And the greatest power from this comes when we get in touch with our own hearts and own our own heart's truth, regardless of how that may have effects on others. Recognizing this Aquarius energy is like the collective oppressing, in a way, in Saturn, the individual. So feel that and be with that and learn how to deliver your truth in ways that are truly empowering at this time. And again, depending on where this falls in your chart, depending on where any of the things that I speak about fall in your chart, it's going to determine what influence this has. So at the end of this, I will do some short personal things. If you want to send your chart, or just send your ascendant, first of all, sun, moon, in the comments, we can take a look with personal questions, and you can start doing that now, and I'll take a look at the end. Anyway, so the sun is also square to Uranus, and Uranus is this planet of upheaval, of removal, of transformation, of sudden unexpected change. So Uranus transits are like a pivot point where some new information or new energy comes into play that changes the course of things. So this is also a pivot point moment. And the sun and the moon are actually much closer to Uranus than they are to Saturn. So feel what's coming to the surface in your heart. Feel what's coming to the surface for you. Is there, and know that anything that is like a bump in the road or a sudden twist in the road is there for a reason. So follow it. And again, Uranus and Taurus is shifts in our values, shifts in financial systems, shifts in our relationship with love, value, finance, the material world in general. And Leo, again, invites us to step into our heart, into our self-expression. So there might be self-expression around those themes. And again, in relation to Saturn, self-expression in regards to the ways that society or the authority figures of Saturn and Aquarius are oppressing or stifling individual expression. How can we rise up in our own ways to be more fully who we are? So moving beyond the sun and moon into the other personal planets, we have Mars squaring the nodes right now. So the nodes of fate, North and South Node, or Ketu and Rahu in the Vedic tradition. And the North Node representing where we are going, what we're heading towards, the South Node representing what we may be releasing or moving beyond. Also, the North Node more traditionally representing something we're hungry or thirsty for, an inner deep emotional drive. And the South Node being something that we are, in a way, abandoning, foregoing, letting go of, or dissociating from. So when planets square the nodes, it activates this deep inner emotional current. And Mars there, it can be like our will and our drive is coming up against fate. We feel as if we are running into obstacles. We feel as if where we personally want to go and what fate or our own inner emotional drive and needs have in store for us are something totally different. So be aware of that and know that this can bring up interpersonal conflicts. And the best thing to do is to really get deeply in touch with what you truly want and notice any things that might be superfluous ones that we can let go of to kind of surrender to fate in these moments. Venus is opposed to Neptune right now. Venus in Virgo. Again, Venus is in her detriment in Virgo, which can sort of bring this planet that's about love, value, and relationship to fall to some of the more analytical, judgmental aspects of Virgo that get so focused on the details. So this is a passing influence, and soon I'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, the opposition to Neptune does create a sort of fantasy around our love, our values, our relationships, those things that Venus rules. Because whenever Neptune creates a hard aspect, it can create this disillusionment. And we're invited to see perhaps what we think is happening in our relationships or in our material work is so much different than what is actually there. So it's a time to let go of idealized concepts of other people, maybe the concept of an idealized partner that you're looking for, or the idealized projection that you're putting on your partner or on your business partner or on your business itself, and get really real about what's happening there. Venus being the planet of personal love, Neptune being the planet of cosmic, transpersonal love. When these planets make an aspect, it allows our personal love and that greater cosmic love to come into alignment, but only if we let go of the idealized versions of reality that we create and learn to accept everything, learn to dissolve into our being and accept the cosmic love that is always there and doesn't need these fantasies to be real, to be fully experienced in the here and now. So some positive things Venus is doing is Venus is trine Uranus, and later will come to trine Pluto through the month. And Venus trine Uranus means, again, this planet of love, values, relationships, wealth, is aspecting our transformation, our evolution, our spiritual growth. So some things in our relationships or in our businesses might be really catalyzing our growth into new versions and expressions of ourselves right now. So pay attention to that and use this as a potent time to catalyze your evolution within your relationships. And then Venus trine to Pluto. Venus Pluto aspects are kind of like a value of power, how we value power, as Pluto relates to our power and our unconscious drives. This is a good time to focus on your finances. If you have been kind of struggling with that, allow yourself to create a new personal resolution to be more diligent, to find something that you love to do that also then becomes your work. And also Venus Pluto relates to, deep sexuality and intimacy. So it is also a time to really ask yourself what you're looking for in those relationships, and if you can bring them to the next level, stepping into greater transparency, which is always powerful for this Pluto energy that is really all about power. So let's talk about some different long-term influences now. And we just experienced on July 29th, retrograde Jupiter re-entering Aquarius. Jupiter was in Aquarius from December 15th or something, 2020, up into like May 2021, I believe. And in Aquarius, it did align with a lot of those squares to Uranus, which it won't completely do this time. It, in Aquarius, is really about this more collective, evolutionary energy, connecting to bigger ideas, connecting to altruism, connecting to society, humanity. But it does kind of bring, with Saturn also in Aquarius, it brings out some of the Aquarian shadows of coldness, of isolation, of detachment. And these times have really been saturated with that energy in many ways. Jupiter entering Pisces, Jupiter enters its domicile sign. So all planets are associated with one or two signs of the zodiac, and when they are in their own signs, they shine the brightest, and the positive aspects of those planets get turned on. Jupiter in Pisces is like in Wonderland. And the last time Jupiter was in Pisces was back in 2010. And maybe when we look at cycles of all planets, when we remember the last time that the planet was in that sign, we can see some sort of memory of recollection of themes that we're going through in our own lives. And that's why, you can listen to these little videos of astrology, but you'll get so much more the deeper you dive into it, as there's nuances that we notice all the time. So it's really interesting for me as I go deeper in astrology all the time to see, okay, like this planetary cycle versus that one. For me, looking at the Jupiter Aquarius cycle 12 years ago, that was one of the craziest times in my youth, where I felt really dissociated and really like, I don't want to be here. Then Jupiter entering Pisces was like a very blissful, ecstatic time of my spiritual awakening happened when Jupiter was in Pisces 12 years ago. And Jupiter in Pisces really brings about that deeper spirituality, a deeper sense of luck, a deeper sense of this sort of Piscean blissful merging with the all. And we will feel that energy come back online when Jupiter re-enters Pisces later in the year. Or maybe that's not until 2022. But for now, we're reviewing this. So that window from like May to July, that was kind of like a sneak preview of where we're going and what we're going to turn into. And now we're going back into what was this cycle of the Aquarian evolutionary energy, the more isolating energy of Aquarius. What was that all about for us? And what are the themes that we can release to bring out the positive aspects of Aquarius that are altruism, love, agape love for the all, divine service, way shower energies. So we'll be experiencing that a bit more. And okay, so the upcoming, we have planets shifting into their own domicile signs. Just like I said, Jupiter in its domicile of Pisces is beautiful. So we have Mercury entering its domicile of Virgo on August 12th. And this brings a sharpness to our mind. It brings a sort of deeper acuity to our vision and our intuition in allowing us to know what's true and isn't true. It turns our intellect on higher and allows us to see clear details for a couple of weeks, or maybe it's just 1 or 2 weeks. Mercury is moving quick right now. So enjoy that time and know that it might be a good time to get a lot of mental work done, a lot of organization done, a lot of structuring of your life in place. And also Virgo relates to this purging energy of letting go of the things that don't serve us, of composting them so that they can become fertile growth for the next harvest. And also August 17th, Venus enters her domicile in Libra. And Venus in Libra that's my natal placement, so I'm excited for my Venus return. It's very happy and shiny because, again, in its domicile, it flourishes. Libra is a very social energy about harmony, justice, balance, connection with the other. And this can be a time where our relationships flourish, our finances flourish, our connection to the world around us flourishes. Something bigger and social blossoms when Venus enters Libra again. So enjoy that experience and look forward to it on August 17th. And the next influence that I spotted along the way would be Mars opposing Neptune at the end of the month towards the beginning of September. And just like we have now with Venus opposing Neptune, it's like a dissolving of illusions. Now it is the dissolving of illusions of relationships and values and wealth, ideas that may not be so accurate, things that may be too idealized. And then it comes to be, our goals. Mars is about our goals and our will and our drive. So do we have over-idealized goals and visions for ourselves of what we're doing and what work we're doing in the world? And how we can, in a way, surrender them to the divine, turn them into karma yoga, because again, Neptune is that energy of transcendence, karma yoga being that Eastern philosophy of giving all of the fruits of your labor to the divine as a gift to the divine, as a way to lift yourself up in spirit. And really it comes down to the basics tenets of having no attachment or insistence on a particular outcome. That doesn't mean we don't have expectations, but it means we trust our higher self, the divine, our heart, to align us with even better circumstances than we can imagine up here in our head. So the last thing that I can say about all of this energy, especially right now, bringing it back to the present, is that we have, again, this fixed dynamic energy, a fixed T-square. We have energies in Taurus, in Leo, and in Aquarius. And the only pillar of the fixed Grand Cross that is missing is Scorpio. So when we have all of the elements but one, the missing part becomes the medicine. So Scorpio is the depth, is transformation, is the darkness, is the unconscious, is our sexuality and our power. So it can be a time for shadow work, can be a time for shedding the skin. If you feel stuck and stagnant with these themes that initially came up of authority, of speaking your truth to authority, of allowing your heart to embrace the unexpected changes, then it is a time to connect with that Scorpio energy of shedding, releasing, transforming, and allowing yourself to rebirth into something new. And we do that through deep levels of intimacy with ourselves, getting very in touch with our feelings, getting very in touch with our personal truth, and owning it, really. So, and that's coming from me, the Scorpio. All right. So, okay, personal questions. If anybody has something they want to ask about this new moon, please post it in the chat box. Sharing chart and messenger for privacy on birth data. If you're still there, Ron, I can take a look at that. So what was your question, Ron? First of all, I can say this is a south node. Yeah, that's important. It's a south node new moon for you. So the south node again relates to our past and also relates to something we may be disassociating from. It's this spiritual exit point where energy is released from us. So new moons are more about planting seeds, but this one actually for you is also about release, getting in touch with the past, things that you may be holding on to from the past. Your south node also being around your IC, your personal life point, your inner personal reality point. It's like a very private moment, hence you shared your chart in private. So some things that relate to maybe your home or your upbringing or the family you have around you, maybe releasing and transforming. So that's what we can say about that one for you. Any other questions? You can type in Virgo rising. Oh God, okay. Last time I've been doing these like wheels in my head to see where things end up. I'm like, but Virgo rising is easy because, okay. It's a 12th house new moon for you. So the 12th house is this Piscean realm of unconscious dreams, fantasies, that which is hidden. So it's a time for you to rest, unwind. The 12th house is about undoing and rest. So giving yourself space to relax and unwind and get in touch with yourself. Giving yourself space to maybe do dream journaling or do some sort of inner vision work like shamanic journeying or any sort of dream work that calls to you will be really helpful for a 12th house new moon. Okay, I think everyone's emptied out. Thanks for watching, people. I do readings, so if you want a personal reading, contact me. I can pull up your chart and we can look at what's going on for you now, or just the essence of your soul blueprint and psyche and how that is impacting your life. We can do future stuff, we can do past stuff, we can do relationship stuff. It's all there. This is my passion for sure. So enjoy this new moon, and as well, I will be starting up the channeling sessions again relatively soon. So you can find them most likely on my YouTube channel, Dante Starshine. My website is dantestarshine.com. And you can contact me here on Messenger or send me an email and we can set something up if you want to look at your chart or do a channeling session or anything of that nature. All right. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed, brilliant day. I'm signing out for now and catch you next time.